Hi. So this is the first time I'm using a mic, so it doesn't come out that good. I am sorry. I'm holding it. Should get a stand eventually. Anyway, so this isn't appears to be not too crazy today. That's a very positive thing. I'm grateful for that. Yeah. So I saw a really interesting little podcast today. Good old gamer. He was talking about video card prices, how they're stupid. They are stupid. Like like they are. It's ridiculous. Okay, so for example, my view of this is either inflation is gone insane, and the video card market is where you see it the most, or these companies have gotten greedy, like insanely greedy. Okay, so I'm gonna like lead you with an example here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Let's go to back to back a long time. Okay, so I'm gonna go to back when I worked at Cablevision, and I really wanted like a top line card, but like I didn't have the top line money. And Nvidia's cards were like $500 at the time, or they were close to it. I think the GTX 4. They only these 4 series were out. It was the 2 series. And I had a 4890, like a $200 card. I was like Nvidia AMD's top line card was a 4890 or ATI at the time, kind of. And I think that's one of the time AMD bought them. And then AMD put out a card, like they put out the 5870. That was like the resurrection of the Radeon 9700 Pro from 2001, and it was a great card, man. I did not have the $380 it was for their AMD's top of the line card. Mm-hmm. The very best of the best you can get from AMD, at least at that time, was give or take $400. Did not have $400. I worked at a cable company. However, I did have $260, and that was the number two card, which is the 5850, and I loved that card. And the fact that when AMD Nvidia's card, the GTX 480 came out later on, and for the most part, it wasn't much faster than the 5850 or 5870. I guess it might have been in certain circumstances, but it was like, why would I spend so much? And then why is this a lot? And there was a lot of issues with it. They did make a good card, the GTX 260. That was a great little card. I think I bought two of those. No, I did not. I bought two of the 460s. That's what I was thinking about. Why did I say 460? 260. I bought two 460s, EVGA, B stock. I think they were like $100 each. That was way later on though. I mean, it wasn't. But yeah, prices were really good back then. 260. I mean, with inflation, that goes up to what? You're looking at $314 with inflation, if you make inflation, for the second highest end card. If you follow, the publicly available inflation numbers, that's I'm guessing where it stands. I may be wrong. I didn't actually look that up, but I'm just comparing it to a lot of things. And it's like I say the same thing about like a Honda Civic, a top line Honda Civic back in 1994, which I think was EX or SI. That was like what, less than 20 grand, 22 maybe. Top line Civic today, Type R, pushing 40, twice the price. Now the argument with the car is, it's a Type R. It's a 300 horsepower engine, turbocharged. It's got most modern version of VTEC. Well, half VTEC. It has that on the. It's a complicated story. But it's you can, okay. Well, let's go to the SI, the actual SI to SI from '94, which was maybe what 19, 18 grand, 17, maybe 20 with every option put on. Versus an SI today with every option put on, you're looking pushing 32, maybe 26. No, actually not 26. It's probably closer to 26. Dealerships have been insane. So that inflation, look at that. That might make more sense if you really think about it. Well, maybe, it depends on how much the old SIs were. But I'm pretty sure they were close to 20, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were like 13, maybe 14. Civics were cheap. They were cute little cars. I had one. They're nice now. See, but that's the thing. That's the argument you can make with cars. They have more stuff. They have more safety things. A Civic from 1994 had like a max in the U.S. 130 horsepower. That's before you did anything to it. The new ones, max at 300 horsepower, more than twice. That's a different car, man. They would be more comparable to a Civic, but you can still make the argument that a Civic today the top of the line Civic today costs twice as much as the top line Civic from 30 years ago, roughly. It's kind of nuts, right? And if you look at the official inflation, it doesn't really follow that. Video cards is the same deal. The GTX 460 was what, $200, I think? Maybe 150. I don't remember exactly. And how much is an RTX 3060? Quite a bit more. $330. That's the official price, but you're not gonna find it for that price, are you? How much was the 2060? 2060 Super? How much is the 3060 Ti, the top line of the 60s? How much was because there was two 460s, I think. Oh no, it was a 660. 660. You look at that one. Cheap car, $230, I think it was. 660 Ti, cut down 670. How much was that? 250 maybe. How much is the new one? The 3060 Ti, 330. Does that follow inflation, you think? Or are they being greedy? Or is inflation wrong? That's my question. I don't know. It's just something weird, you know? I follow video cards. I like computer stuff. But that's one of the things I follow. It's kind of really not slow. I mean, I'm grateful for today. Don't get me wrong, but it's like something going on or something. I don't know. Someone's got people's attention. Anyway, 7 minutes of me talking about computers. Nothing really philosophical. Just inflation's a weird thing. I think it's such a BS thing. You have to look at like things you use. I guess gallons of milk makes more sense to compare it to. Because, like, these companies are out of their minds. Like, for video cards, you have two companies, NVIDIA and AMD. And that brings me up an interesting point. Like, I am, just to put it out there, I am an investor in AMD. As an investor, I see the insanity of AMD increasing the prices. I'm happy with my computer. I'm not upgrading. And the higher they raise the prices, the more money I make my investments. So I guess I'll buy it when it's a reasonable price, but I'm in no rush. That's my perspective. Because but it's like a very, in my mind, it's like a neutral perspective because I really want a 5950, but it's ridiculously overpriced. It's hard to find. And the way I'm kind of looking at it is like, well, they're selling like nuts. The more they sell, the more money I make. I'm not buying one anytime soon because I'm not spending that much money on it. I'll buy it when I buy it. Oh, shit. Oh, man. This is a good podcast. I should pick it up over here. Anyway, that's kind of my perspective. I'm like, am I a graveler? Maybe a graveler light. And then when I had that thought, Owen Benjamin from BearTerrorTimesApp.com, great app. He was talking about, maybe there are some good gravelers out there who just want to, like the My Pillow guy. And I'm like, I could see that. I could totally see that because like I'm an AMD fan. I love computers. Like computers are cool. I don't love computers, but you get it. I appreciate what they provide us. And I would like more people to have computers, or see what I see in them because like they can be graveled like crazy. But, I mean, do you really anything more than a 6-core, quad-core processor? Like an i5 be fine for most stuff, in my opinion. Like but I play like Cyberpunk. I mean, then again, I have a Ryzen 7. But I played on my Ryzen 3. You have a Ryzen 3 in the living room? Quad core? 8 thread. Okay, it's a Ryzen 3 3300X. It's a pretty good little CPU. I like it. Anyway, I like it. I mean, I have it tied to RX 480, not really a top of the line card. It plays games fine. 1080p, use a little more little settings. You don't spend crazy money. You look at the 3070 for $700, $600. I'm like, like, the worst case scenario, you always have a Raspberry Pi. You can play NES games, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, N64 to a certain degree. And have fun. Dreamcast again to a certain degree, but have fun. And like I have more fun with those with my family than I would with Overwatch. There's just a little side story that I'm gonna end it with this. My wife and I played a lot of Overwatch. We've been playing since the game came out. Like we met like a month or two after the game came out, and we had a beautiful relationship. Like we learned a lot of like teamwork. It was a great teamwork exercise. That game because it was like, honey, let's cover me, and she covered me because she played D.Va a lot, and I was flexible, so she's flexible too. And a game like that I thought was very positive for us because it taught us teamwork, it taught us flexibility because we had to switch position, we had to like settle with what learn to deal with people because at certain points we were like, oh, I really want to be an attack person, but then everybody picks attack. And like I don't like the roll queue crap that they did in Overwatch. Where like, people picked this already, you gotta pick somebody else. I mean, it didn't exactly. That was mostly for competitive, but they pushed it over to the regular game. So what I liked about it is it kind of forced me to like make a choice. Be like, well, I can be a child and not fill the role that's needed. Oh crap! I put the wrong password. And not fill the role that's needed. Or I can be an adult and see what role is needed and fill that role. And that's what Overwatch kind of helped. There we go. Really cool. Oh, they should be. I don't know why I did. Alright. So, I mean, that Overwatch had its positives. And it was fun to get all the skins and stuff. So we earned a lot. We put a lot of effort into that game. And then this last event, the Christmas event, and we always liked the events. Like, we played pretty well during the events. We got some good teams. But it never actually looked for people, but, like, in the past, it was like, they always paired us with people that were competent. That were, like, the same level my wife and I were at. And then they paired us with an opposing team, which was at the same level. And for some reason, for the last few weeks, before we stopped playing the game, it was like completely unfair. Like my wife and I are silvers, and they paired us with like people who have no stars or they're early bronze. And I'm like, and then the opposing team is like golds and silvers, and I'm like, okay, that's weird, but I'll accept the challenge. Let's do this, baby. And we jumped in, and we kept getting annihilated. And I'm like, okay, well, something's up with the server, so we jumped in, and they kept pairing us, like a garbage team on our side, us as the only silvers with stars, and the other team was like golds and silvers, and the rest of our team was like bronze or newbies. I'm like, this is getting weird. So I kept dumping in and out, and then that happened for a few weeks. I'm like, this game is no longer fun, because it's like like everything is stacked against us. So if there's no winning in the game, we just go, all right, we're done. We had our fun. We put a lot of effort in them. And let me honest. Let me tell you something cool about this game. A lot of people complain about loot boxes and stuff. Is this the right person? And I'm not a fan of loot boxes. But let me tell you about Overwatch and my wife and I. We enjoyed that game a lot. We played hard. We destroyed a lot of enemies. And we earned our loot boxes. We didn't buy them. Like, very rarely did we spend money. There was like a charity event for cancer. And we were like, oh, $10 for a Mercy skin. It was an awesome skin, by the way. But there was event times we spent money because it was like maybe to help a good cause that I thought at the time was a good cause. But outside of that, man, we earned our stuff in that game. We put our effort into that game, and it's just a game. I know you can't compare it to real life, but when the game got ridiculous and everything, and it's like it felt like they were purposely screwing us over, especially during an event where we really wanted to earn these skins. They were cool. We like Christmas. Christmas is our favorite holiday. There's characters we like Diva and Symmetra. But the game decided to go just screw us, and I was like, oh. And I took a step back. I'm like, oh, wow, this is how you want to run this? Okay, I'm done. So, I talked to the wife. I was like, honey, and I pointed out what I kind of pointed out. Like, they're kind of. It seems like I don't know if the server's screwing us. I'm not sure if like maybe like God's telling us, hey guys, take a break in Overwatch, or whatever, or a combination of the two, of everything. But I was like, let's uninstall the game. I'm good for now. I think they don't want us to play anymore because they're making it not fun. And if it's not fun, if it doesn't bring joy, if it doesn't benefit me, what's the point? Like, I do that with people. Why wouldn't I do that to a stupid video game? So, to end it, that's just my thoughts. The whole industry's stupid, but they tried to blame Corona. And the whole thing with the movie industry getting like, oh, we're losing so much money. Maybe if you made good movies, because this last few Star Wars movies weren't that amazing. That last Ghostbusters movies was not my cup of tea. I'm not sure if it was everybody else's, but I didn't like it. It seemed like they were trying to purposely tank the movie industry in preparation for what's going on. My theory, I don't know. I'm ignorant about this stuff, but it was like it just got like a perfect storm. Just weird. Anyway, I'm done. Have a great day. I'm Audi 9000.